I want to make some music. Yeah, wow, when I first started this channel, I explicitly stated that I wasn't too interested in doing any music goals. A year later, and while music isn't necessarily an end goal for anything, I've got a lot of music adjacent things that I need doing in relation to other goals. Since I need to do music in service of my other goals, I thought I'd take the chance to do some other music things that I've been wanting to do as well. Also, this month is my birthday month, so I want to kind of take it a bit easier, and music is something that doesn't really stress me out. Most of the time, anyway. So, let me introduce you to my music stream background. Wait, hang on, let me hide my practice list. There we go. It's pretty simple. It's just me, my now hidden practice list, and my piano, which shows you what keys I'm pressing, like so. So I'm going to introduce my first music goal for this month, one that's unrelated to music. I want a nice background to play piano in. No more dark void for me. It needs to have a space for my piano and for me and for anything that I want to display. Pretty simple. Okay, actually onto the music goals now, the ones that involve music. First, let's talk about my animation goal, creating an anime opening. As I've said for a while, and as I've played during my 1-year anniversary video, I've got the tune pretty much ironed out. As a taster, here's the intro. Now, it's all fine that I can play it more or less, but I need to record it, and by extension, level it up a bit. By level it up, I mean add more instruments, specifically bass and drums. Now, I can't play bass or drums, not beyond an extremely rudimentary level, but thankfully my keyboard has a pretty good bass sound to fit my purpose. It also has drum loops and drum sounds available, but another potential option that I have is to use a piece of software called Addictive Drums, which people over at Focusrite, the company that makes the tech that allows me to plug my keyboard into my computer, provide when you purchase their products. It's got a bunch of other drum loops, drum sounds, and with a lot more control over tempo and whatnot. So if I've got time, I could potentially put together a drum beat that fits the shape that I'm going for. The final instrument I'm going to add is the vocals. Here's the problem though. While I've been ooh, ah, and doo-ing my way through vocals this whole time, I need to add lyrics. I stink at writing lyrics. There's maybe 1.5 songs worth of lyrics that I'm even halfway satisfied with over my entire lifetime of making music, which, albeit, doesn't contain all that many lyrics since I stopped trying to write them, because I thought I didn't like writing lyrics. The problem is that I think too much. I overanalyze the things that I do, so instead of just taking lyrics that I write at face value, I think things like, that line's a bit overused and cliche, and well, that's just nonsense, isn't it? Or, that just sounds a bit lame. I need to shake those thoughts though. Lame, cliche, nonsense. When something is sung, that sort of stuff fades away. I mean, have you read lyrics verbatim without music? Lots of super popular songs have strange, dumb lyrics. Heck, some of my favorite music is Bill Wurtz, and his lyrics are a nonsensical stream of consciousness filled with wonderful non sequiturs. I went down to the mall, then they closed down the mall. Guess they don't want me going to the mall, because I'm just too small. Small for them all. Ridiculous. I love it. So that's the anime opening version 1 song as the first goal. What's the next one? It's time to talk about weddings. Yes, I know the wedding video was last video, but I said that I had a plan specifically referring to the Isle song. I'm a huge nerd, and I've decided that I'm going to record the Isle song for my beloved honey, specifically an arrangement of Kingdom Hearts' Dearly Beloved, the song that goes like this. I thought it would work as an Isle song, and even though I know I'm going to cry like an absolute baby during my wedding, Why not expedite the process? The mere thought of my honey walking down the aisle to dearly beloved used to get me a bit teary. The first part of planning the song is done, recording the walk down the aisle, which is around 52 seconds. Combine that with the walk of the bridesmaids and potentially a flower girl, and a bit of padding either side, I think the arrangement should be approximately either 150 seconds long, so around 2.5 minutes. I've been thinking about the form of it for a while as well, and I think I'd start with a Kingdom Hearts 3 style intro as the doors open. That would then lead into the more simple version with some slight variation for the bridesmaids. From there, I'm thinking of going into the main tune variation for the bride entrance. Then it would resolve back into a Kingdom Hearts 3 style resolution. That's at least my running idea for the moment. The point is to solidify that, and while I may not get the final recording done, to finalize the form and run it past Honey. Once the form is finalized, I'll actually write the score down, using something like MuseScore to lock in the actual notes that I'm going to play. I'm not going to rely on an ad-libbed version for my wedding, which I'll then properly learn, practice, and record the final version of. I may do a smidge of post-production to add reverb or to otherwise make it sound more natural. I may even produce several different versions to test what sounds best on site. I'll also do a lot of all of that during my Friday music streams. Catch me at twitch.tv/blowitmcnugget. So that's the anime opening and wedding taken care of. What else do I want to do with music this month? It's been a while since I've last recorded a background track, so I'm long overdue to create another few of those. Not that I've been lacking for material. I've got several chord progressions jotted down in my handy scorebook. I just haven't actually recorded them, though some may require a bit more fleshing out. I found that I've fallen back on using the same tracks with relative frequency in my videos, so I thought I'd add to the repertoire. I've also bounced back and forth between releasing some of my background recordings for other people to use if they're interested, but I don't feel as though the music is high enough quality to stand on its own. I mean, it works when it's behind me talking or whatever, but as a standalone track, there's a fair few mistakes that would become immediately obvious when not hidden behind other things. The way I record my background tracks is pretty much just finding a good progression of chords and improvising around them on Audacity for a few minutes until I decide, right, that's long enough, saving it and exporting it as an MP3. Not really much quality control beyond, nah, that one sounded pretty rough, I better try again. The two tracks I'm definitely going to record as new background tracks are labelled as, I don't label most of my tracks, but these two actually have them, City Streets, And the other one, which is another one with a tune but not lyrics, but works without it anyway, is Sounds of Your Body. I think 3 is a very achievable number for new tracks to create this month. I could probably even get it up to 5, but Final Fantasy XVI comes out this month, so I may stream a bit extra when it's released. What else can I talk about? I could touch on the music goal I'm already working towards, song revival. I periodically go through these waves of wanting to get old pieces back to a semi-performance standard. I don't mean the standard of performing on a stage, but the level of someone asking me to play something and I can play it without being embarrassed. You can see it on my practice list now, let me get that back up for you. But that's not the end of it. There's actually a few more pieces that I want to revive. Easiest is the Cowboy Bebop piano medley. I just need to find the music for it. Then the Final Fantasy VII Bombing Mission Piano Collections piece, which is a pretty big jump in difficulty. Then the final piece, whose name I don't even properly know. One of my piano teachers provided to me a decade ago, and the piece sounds like madness. It's the fourth movement of something, and I know it simply as the Ginastera. Actually, I just googled it. Ginastera is the composer's name, and the piece is Piano Sonata No. 1, 4th movement. Arguably, as a whole, it isn't as difficult as the most difficult sections of Bombing Mission, but if you give it a listen, it's a wild thing. Another one on top of all of those is Hollow Bastion from Kingdom Hearts Piano Collection, which is another pretty difficult one, but definitely easier than Bombing Mission. I don't think I can revive all of those in a month, but I've already done pretty well with the 3 on my practice list, which are Damaska Estersand, To Walk Amongst Gods, and Those Who Fight. Thankfully, reviving most of these pieces isn't that difficult to prospect. Muscle memory is an amazing thing, and even with some of these pieces not having been played in over 3 years, the body remembers. Getting those up to standard and being able to play them without the score in front of me are two different things though, so we'll see if I expand upon those goals next video. With that, it's time to wrap up, so let's go over the goals first, though I'll reorder them in order of priority. Number 1, Wedding Isle Song, getting the structure done and getting started on the final score. Number 2, Anime Opening, creating a version 1 of the song. I want at least the piano part recorded before next video. 3, new background tracks. The 2 that I mentioned should get done before next video. 4, revival of old pieces. Well, I'll keep going as I have been. I just need to practice a little more than just my Friday morning streams to speed up the process. Oh, and drawing a background to play music on. Otherwise, I think I'll end it here for now. It's Music Month after all, so we've got another 1, if not 2 videos to go. We'll reassess progress and then do a final review at the end of the month on how far I've managed to get with everything. I should probably learn a new song though, instead of just reviving the same songs over and over again. Any suggestions from you? I'd love to hear some of your favorite piano pieces down below. I'll listen through them, and if they tickle my fancy, I'll give it a go. After all, it's not I attempt new things, it's we attempt new things. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a fruitful day.